So if you know me, you know I love 12-inch Star Wars figures. They're just so appealing to me. I love their size. I love the scale. They're just a nice standalone centerpiece in your collection. I love 12-inch Star Wars figures. I like them more than 6-inch, that's for sure. And I wanted to make a video talking about what I feel not only are my 10 favorite, but also the 10 best. I usually don't make best videos, but let's be honest, who here really collects 12-inch Star Wars stuff? Like, in the comments, tell me, do you collect 12-inch Star Wars stuff? Probably not, no. But I actually have quite a bit of it. I don't have everything, I don't want everything, but I think I can have a pretty decent assembly of what I consider 10 of the best 12-inch Star Wars figures. Now, your opinion and your list may vary. But I personally feel like some of these stand out above the rest, have something really stand alone about them. They do something better than something else, especially with all their contemporaries and all that. That's definitely a big one. Compared to all the others that came out, I feel like the ones on the list kind of stand out and stand alone. So let's get things started with the only modern 12-inch Star Wars figure on the list. Yeah, Force Awakens C-3PO. He is actually number 10. And the reason why I have Force Awakens C-3PO is because I feel like sculpt-wise, look-wise, this is the best 12-inch scale protocol droid we've gotten from Hasbro. Of course, I mean, a Sideshow or a Hot Toys is going to blow it out of the water. But this thing just came in a cheap multi-pack. I know it was all over at Ollie's last Christmas. Or the Christmas before that, I honestly don't remember. But it's great, man. Even though it does have the red arm, unfortunately, this is actually my only red arm C-3PO toy, I think. I hope they make a golden arm version, you know, silver leg, classic C-3PO. Articulation's pretty much all you really need. He has a ball joint at the head. He has ball hinges at the arms there, swivels at the wrist, nothing at the waist, and he does have a little bit of expression at the legs. So you pretty much get all the joints you really need for a C-3PO. For him to look nice, for him to pose decently. I mean, I wish he kind of had a bicep swivel, but he has individually sculpted pistons and everything, so that looks really nice. Overall, I think this is the best modern age 12-inch Star Wars figure Hasbro's done, because they usually just make them cheap, and they don't make them high quality. And this one, in my opinion, is pretty high quality. So there's that one. Then next up, the reason this guy's on the list is because I still think, to this day, this is the nicest looking battle droid toy ever made. The original 12-inch battle droid. Specifically here, the Commander. I picked him over the normal battle droid because he comes with the binoculars and he just kind of has some more paint. He just looks a little cooler. The big reason he's on here is because he still, 20 years later, is one of, if not the best looking battle droid toy. It looks amazing. Now, granted, it's not as posable. I don't feel like it's as, you know, it's definitely not as dynamic as others. I definitely feel like it looks better sculpt-wise, especially in the head, than the Sideshow. The figure arts looks amazing, and the Black Series is pretty good. Black Series is pretty good, but I don't feel like it's on this level. I love this, and I really want to get more of the normal battle droid and just make the Sergeant and the pilot. I call it a Sergeant, oh my gosh, the security and the pilot. I'd love to get those. So anyways, there's number 9. And I want to explain a little bit more about this list. These are what I feel to be the best. These aren't my favorites. Like, I don't know if I'd make him a favorite of mine. But I wanted to make a best video, because I usually don't do best videos. I usually do favorites. So, still, this is my opinion. It's not like this is fact. This is what I feel is the best. But next up, number 8. Goes to Darth Maul. The reason he is lower is because he's 20 years old. He's from the older body style where, I mean, he's got the big old hands and he's got like the clickety rubbery legs. Not really the best, but he has the full cloak. The full cloak. You can take off the big overcloak. You can have the hood. Look at how the hood rests on the head. Look at this. I don't think any Darth Maul action figure that's not like a high-end collectible has the hood lay on as nice as this. That looks ominous. That looks awesome. I love it. I usually have them with the hood. Then you can, of course, have that down, and then look at that. Look at that detail. This is Darth Maul. This takes me back to when I was really, really young, because I was born in '98. So, I mean, I was a toddler when I was being introduced. It just takes me back to seeing Phantom Menace stuff and Darth Maul and all that. I was very easily scared as a kid, but I was never scared of Darth Maul. I always thought he looked so cool. Because George Lucas just did a good job with the colors. Like, he made him look evil without looking very scary. So, I just love Darth Maul. This is a great figure. He's got the two lightsaber, you know, the double lightsaber. I don't think this one separates, but that's okay. Because this was actually released with the original products. It doesn't really feature a, you know, splitting lightsaber gimmick. It doesn't really need to. But yeah, the reason he's on this list is because he's probably the best Phantom Menace 12-inch. He is stunning. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I got that for $8. That's what $8 buys you when you collect these. I love it. Anyways, next up, number 7 goes to the vintage original trilogy collection, Stormtrooper. The reason why he's kind of lower is because look at that helmet. It's pretty goofy, isn't it? I mean, it's a goofy helmet. But I kind of love how goofy and weird it looks. It's kind of just endearing. I still really love this figure. It's probably the best Trooper that they ever did in 12-inch. Unfortunately, it's probably the best Trooper. I was thinking about putting the Revenge of the Sith Phase 2 clone on here, but it's not... It's kind of lacking a little something with, you know, the helmet, and I don't like it as much as this. And I had to be kind of picky. But yeah, I think this is the best Trooper they did. I like the sculpt on the helmet, but it's definitely weird. He didn't come with that gun, I just wanted him to have it. But you do have the E11 that stores there. Really nice pouch. The armor's nice, it's all individual. It's a really good figure. It's actually one of the more expensive ones, because the Vintage Original Trilogy collection is a little more desired by collectors, because it's a vintage homage. Number 6 goes to the Bounty Hunter Zuckuss. This Zuckuss is so great. I think this thing could stand alongside Sideshows and Hot Toys. And besides the gun looking kind of cheap and plasticky, it would pretty much fit in. Look at this detail. Look at this. Look at that. That is Zuckuss. This thing is gorgeous. Look at the costume. Look at the costume. They've painted it. That's paint right there. They have all this little kind of look and detail. And look at that right there, that armor, how detailed that is. He's got the tubes and the hoses and everything. He's got this big old like gas can or whatever that is. He's pretty decently posable. A reason he's kind of lower, though, is because he still suffers from the clickety... I don't know if you can hear that, the clickety knees that plagued older 12-inch figures. Even though he was released in the Saga line, which was the best line for 12-inch stuff, in my opinion. But it's great. But there's just 5 others I think are better. I mean, I really love these, I do. I'm definitely taking a risk making a more, you know, best list instead of favorites. Because I understand not everyone's going to agree with this. Someone may feel like one's better than these, and that's fine. But from my collection, I feel like these are the best. Anyways, this is the newest one to my collection. Number 5 goes to Plo Koon. This guy is not easy to get. He was released in the Saga line for Attack of the Clones, and you may be wondering, why does he have a green lightsaber? I don't know, ask Hasbro, okay? Hasbro gave him a green lightsaber. It wasn't me, it was Hasbro. Leave it alone, drop it, give him a blue lightsaber if you got one, don't worry about it. You can pop out the blade and just switch it out. Doesn't matter. It's fine. I kind of like him with the green saber because, I don't know. I feel like Plo Koon just should have had one. But it was actually the original Phantom Menace toy of Plo Koon and probably preliminary arts and ideas for Plo Koon to give him a green lightsaber. But in Attack of the Clones, they decided to give him a blue one. But they just kind of, you know, decided not to. They just gave him... You know, they just kind of decided, hey, we're still going to give him a green saber for the toy. Anyways, this head. Look at this head. Look at this. This is gorgeous. I have looked at the Sideshow Plo Koon, and honestly, I think this one may look just a little better. I think this head may actually be a little better than the Sideshow. It looks amazing, man. The costume's pretty nice. I mean, of course, the tailoring and the costume isn't going to be as good on a Hasbro $20 price range 12-inch compared to like a $60 Sideshow 12-inch. But look at that. The boots and everything. Super posable because it's a Saga era one. Doesn't have the clickety knees. He has nice fluid knees. Definitely worthy of being number 5 to me. I love that figure. I try to call them figures and not dolls because I have the personal belief that these pretty much are dolls. Come on. Anyways, I think number 4 goes to... This is definitely my bias showing. Garen. This figure is amazing, man. Garen has never had a better toy than this. You see the hood lays on his head real nice, but you get that down. And look at that snoot. Look at this detail. I fully reviewed this figure if you want to see it. There's still a couple of these on this list even I want to fully review at some point. But look at this undersuit. This black Imperial outfit. Look at this. The silver right there. Look at that. And he's got the little communicator thing. Oh, man. Look at that. He's got the nice body as well. This thing, it's so simple. But they just knew, hey, we got to keep it simple. We got to keep the materials looking nice. And, I mean, look at that. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous figure. I definitely feel like he's worthy of being number 4. Number 3 is another figure from the Saga line. And that is what I feel is the best face ever given to one of these. Count Dooku. The Count Dooku 12-inch figure, this face is stunning. Absolutely stunning. I feel like this likeness to Christopher Lee is... not considering, you know, the Hot Toys, whatever, any other high-end versions. Talking about a mainstream retail release toy, this head is unmatched. There has not been another toy that looks as good as this. I don't feel like the Black Series they've revealed even comes close. I mean, this is gorgeous. Look at the eyes. Look at all the paint in the hair. This is definitely the nicest looking face. And the figure itself, too, I mean, it's a Saga figure, so it's on the nice body. You can see it has the nice joints and everything. He has the lightsaber, and you can actually attach it. And he has the articulated fingers, too. You don't see that with all of them. He has articulated fingers. God, I love that. He's got the really nice cape. I like how his chain is plastic, so it'll stay perfectly straight. It's gorgeous. This is such a gorgeous figure. Definitely worthy of being number 3. And if if number 2 and 1 didn't exist, he would definitely be number 1. But we got to talk about number 2 and number 1. And I'm going to bring them out at once, because I can't pick which one's better than the other. I can't. And you'll see why. Number 2 and number 1, take your pick on which one you think is better. Goes to father and son, Jango Fett and Boba Fett. These are the 2 best Hasbro 12-inch figures they ever made, by far. Django was obviously released in the 2002 Attack of the Clones Saga line, and Boba Fett was released in the original Trilogy Collection line. I realize I said original twice there. I'm so sorry if that offended you. But yeah, man, I can't pick. I cannot pick. I think the Jango Fett has a lot more going on, but the Boba Fett is just so nice. If I absolutely had to pick, if I was pointed, there's a gun pointed at me, and I absolutely had to pick, I would probably pick Django because I'm biased towards Django over Boba. But look at these. Look at these. Let's look at Django first. I haven't reviewed Django yet. I'm not going to talk about him too much because I want to review him soon. I'm probably not going to review him in this, little wave of filming videos. Look at that helmet. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. This helmet, perfectly proportioned. I think this helmet's better proportioned than the Sideshow. I really think it is. Better than the Black Series, that's for sure. Definitely one of the best Django helmets. And look, visor goes down. That's awesome. And Zuckus don't do it. Anyways, look at this. Look at this likeness. That is Tamora Morrison. That is Tamora Morrison. And here, let me just get it down. Let's compare this Hasbro likeness to Tamora Morrison back from 2002 compared to Sideshow's attempt with the Commander Cody. Cody looks nothing like him. I mean, they're pretty much the same kind of quality. Look at that. Like, you could interchange these. This one looks way better. That is Tamora Morrison. I love that. Now, granted, compared to the Hot Toys Commander Cody, this has nothing on that. But, come on, this thing is, 18 years old? 18 years old. And he's got the removable armor. That's one thing. He has completely removable armor. He has interchangeable gauntlets where you can remove the spikes there. He has the Camino Saber Dart. He has chrome Westar blasters. He has 2 jetpacks. This is the Camino jetpack. You can also give him the Geonosis jetpack. You have all this removable armor. He's super posable. He was released as a deluxe figure, and I'm so happy he was. Look at all this armor. This, I mean, if I had to pick, I would pick Django, but I really don't want to pick. Because let's bring in Boba Fett. I have fully reviewed Boba Fett. Boba Fett looks gorgeous. Just like his daddy, he's got a perfect helmet. I don't think it's as perfect as the Django, but I think it's pretty on par. Does have the flip-down visor as well. Even though this Boba, it's not necessarily based on either Empire or Jedi. It's, if anything, it's more Empire, because he has the Empire backpack, he has the Empire gun, but he doesn't have the Empire pistol. Of course, there's probably other subtle differences, but it's not Jedi, because he doesn't have the red gauntlets, he doesn't have the colored jetpack, and he does. It's more Empire than Jedi, but it's kind of like take your pick. There was also a very, very blue version for the undersuit released. I don't recommend that one. I just don't think it looks as good as the nice gray one here. But the blue one's not bad. But look at this. I fully reviewed it. Articulation's amazing. It is such a gorgeous figure. This is the centerpiece of my 12-inch collection, by the way. I wish Django could be more in the center, but he's kind of off with the prequel characters on my shelf. So there we go. There is what I feel is the best 12-inch Hasbro Star Wars action figures. I mean, there's been some really good ones, but there's also been a lot of stinkers. Notice how there really isn't anything from the Power of the Force 12-inch line on here. That's because while they're not bad, while I like the Power of the Force stuff, none of it can compare to this. Almost none of it can compare to this. The Bouche Leia is a really good one, but articulation's a little limited. I like the VOTC Luke, but he's got a really odd face. The Chewbacca from Revenge of the Sith is nice, but he's not very articulated. I could go on and on rambling these things. The Tarkin looks nice, has a great likeness to Peter Cushing, but it's on that old buff body. There's just so many that are nice, but I don't think any of them are as good as this. There weren't any I was kind of like debating, should I not? You know, I feel very confident in this list personally. Almost all stuff from the Saga line is great, but I feel like this is the best. This is the culmination. All of these things, almost all of these, I feel like could be put alongside a Sideshow or a Hot Toys, and you wouldn't feel too bad about it. The only ones I would probably say, maybe think twice on that. Probably the lower four. I would say anything from 6 and above you could probably put with a Sideshow or Hot Toys, and it would look pretty in place. So there we go, guys. I love these things. I love 12-inch Star Wars stuff. I cannot express enough how much I love this line. I wish they would bring it back. Disney Premium Elite Series almost did. We got some releases. We got 6 releases. Oh man, I wish we would have gotten a Stormtrooper, First Order Stormtrooper. Wish we would have gotten so much more. But no one bought them because they just, no one was really interested. That's a shame. It really is, because I love 12-inch stuff. But I don't have the money to be buying, $200 figures every time. I mean, these things, the average price on these was maybe $15. Maybe 20. I think the most I paid on any of these was the Boba Fett. I think it was like 35. I mean, this is an affordable line to collect, guys. These things are almost more affordable than 6-inch Black Series. And in some cases, I think they're a lot better. Is the character selection as good? Hell no. Character selection is not nearly as good. But they've done a lot of great stuff in this line, and I highly recommend, if you want to get any of these 10 are a good place to start. Get your favorite characters. I would say avoid Power of the Force 2 as much as you can. If there's a better version out there, I'd get that, because there's a Power of the Force 2 version of Boba Fett, and it is horrendous compared to this. So if you're looking for a 12-inch Boba, don't get the Power of the Force one. Alrighty, guys, I'm going to stop rambling. I just love 12-inch Star Wars, and I wanted to talk about it. Alrighty, guys, there we go. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Check out my social media links, P.O. Box address, and frequently asked questions down in the description below. Have a good day. See you in the next video. Adios. Now I got to put all these guys on the shelf, and hopefully they don't fall down, because if they fall, then that's not good. Bye!